Hi, this is my presentation for How Does Meditation Affect Attention by Andrew Jane. Let's go. So we will go into why this question is a thing, about what can meditation do for a person and what meditation can do in general, and how does the meditation help with attention in the brain. So let's get started with what is the definition of what is the use of meditation. In an article called Study Suggests Meditation Can Help Train Attention by Sandra Balak from the New York Times, I can conclude that the understanding or the definition of the use of meditation can be used to give you a sense of calm and peace and balance that can benefit both you, your emotional and mental health, and your overall health. You can also use it to relax with stress and be reinforcing your attention on something calming. I believe that meditation can help you stay centered and keep inner peace. And with that, you can do different types of meditations, but I'm only going to stick with one, which involves deep breathing during meditation. But we should first understand why we are going into this topic about using meditation to deal with attention. With something that I have to deal with on a day-to-day basis, I had to deal with how I am built as a person. I was diagnosed with ADHD, which is attention deficit disorder, where if something doesn't really interest me, my attention goes wild, or I don't have any attention at all. If I'm going into a lecture, and I'm not interested in what they're talking about, I understand that my brain will go off on a tangent and think about something else, and I won't understand or be interested in learning what the lecturer is talking about. Or about if it's not into my interest, I would think, I'm not going to listen. And then that's how my body works in the brain. So I would want to elaborate on the definition I want to focus on during this presentation. And then I would like to talk about in a journal article I have read called Focus Attention Meditation Training, Modified Neutral Activity and Attention, Longitude EEG Data in Non-Medication by Kazu Yoshihira. And attention is something that I've dealt with a lot, and this is the best understanding I could get from this article, which is short attention span can be designed into from a learning disability such as dyslexia, which I actually have. Dyslexia is when you're looking at a word or something. When you're looking at a word, it isn't what you're supposed to be reading. Like attention, I could read it as another word, and because I'm not paying attention to what the actual word is saying, and then it's not communicating into my brain. Learning disorders can be difficult to concentrate, and tasks of reading, writing, and speaking, which is I'm doing right now, even though I'm trying to make a good conversation during this presentation. In another journal article called Attention Regulation and Monitoring in Meditation by Antonio Lewis and others from the Science and Direct Mindful Meditation, I would want to go into what meditation I really want to focus on during this whole presentation, which is mindful meditation. Mindful meditation is the best meditation to go into when you want to strengthen your ability to keep your attention. It teaches you to observe yourself and focus on something. And it trains you to bring your wandering mind back into the moment when you get distracted. That's the best definition of how meditation can go into how you develop yourself into a more efficient person during the time of paying attention in general day-to-day life. Uh, but I would go into mindful meditation in deeper later on, which is very fun. I actually done mindful meditation while I was doing my high school graduations finals, which is because I really did not was interested in what I was doing during the time, because I didn't really want to graduate from high school. It wasn't a priority of mine. So my brain just didn't want to focus on the finals. But I went into counseling, which helped me a lot and told me that if you wanted to focus and pass high school, you should try mindful meditation, which I did, and it actually really helped. Another meditation I want to talk about is focus meditation, also called focus attention meditation, or FAM. And it can be a very useful tool for anyone who is trying to use meditation for stress relief, actually. This meditation style allows your body to focus on an object, sound, or sensation rather than achieve a clear mind without a specific focal point. And I want to go deeper into that, because when you're in a meditation, you're being told by someone else what to do, and you're guided to a deeper understanding or deeper goal in mind rather than something else you're going into, if that makes any sense. But you should always understand that meditation is more of a tool to look within and then help you understand what problems you want to face and what problems that you should deal with. And then this is what I want to talk about transitioning, which is another topic of how meditation works to help with the brain during attention problems, which is the brain. This is the huge structure of the brain about the frontal lobe, the cerebrum, and the temporal lobe, and then more parts of the brain. This is from Medical News Today. In a journal article called Effects of Meditation Experience on Functional Connectivity of Disturbed Brain Network by Wendy Hasui and Lawrence W. Pare from Frontier in Human Neuroscience. I began to learn and read about how the brain goes through during meditation. Meditation is shown to thicken the prefrontal cortex, which is I'm understanding here. And then this part of the brain is managing the higher order brain function, like it increases the awareness and concentration and decision making, which I understand that is very day-to-day basis of what we should do, because we're always making decisions. We're always aware of what our brains are doing, and it changes in the brain with the meditation, and higher order function becomes stronger with lower brain activity decreasing. So meditation focuses your brain into what the prefrontal cortex is supposed to do, which is focus on anything. Meditation involves attention regulation. So you have to it leads to your brain increase in regions associated with attention, such as the dorsal, I believe it's called the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, and the central and centrical cortex, which is AC. And this is supposed to be right around here. So there's two parts of the brain that I'm really trying to focus on, but it's more of where the prefrontal cortex is supposed to be. But more into what meditation I'm trying to focus on, which it goes back into attention, is mindful meditation. Mindful meditation is from a journal article called Your Brain on Meditation by Kelly McGolden, um, from the excerpt of Yoga Journalism. I want to explain what the whole thing of mindful meditation is completely is. Mindful meditation is more of focusing on a sensation and feeling without being interrupted or judged. And then I believe that even in schools, children should be taught this because they're growing and understanding themselves, where you should be mindful about what you're doing and what you should be doing without any fear and judgment. You should always trust your brain about what you're doing, and practicing mindful meditation involves breathing techniques and guided imagery to relax your body and help it reduce stress, which I want to elaborate that during meditation, even mindful meditation, you have to do a lot of deep breathing. When you're doing deep breathing, your body is relaxing to the other parts of your body, which is like your nervous system, to send signals to your brain to tell your body to be less anxious and to understand you are not in danger mode. Because when you're in danger mode, you're always trying to let your brain go faster and faster to deal with a problem. And that is what happens when your attention is varied around the environment around you. Like if you're in class, you're trying to understand that you need to focus on something to focus on the lecture rather than let your brain wander off. And then this is how meditation works, because mindful meditation is you're training your brain to be less hard on yourself and be deeply intertwined with less stress, which will then make you understand that you aren't in a dangerous situation, so you can focus on the task at hand, which is the lecture in this example. But let's actually talk about the effects in the real world using meditation for attention. This is two examples that come to mind would be schools from elementary teachers and students, and college students who need to take notes in class, even though the lecture might not be as interesting or repetitive. So you should always understand that your brain you should always let your brain center yourself about what meditation should, where your attention should be going to. And meditation actually does help that. So if the world needs help with kids not understanding how to focus their attention, why not try mindful meditation to actually train your kids' brains to understand that it is time to focus on something that isn't a hard subject, which is the classroom. Same like the college students. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. And what do you think about this? Do you think mindful meditation is a good alternative, or do you think that there's another way for your body to focus on attention? Thank you for listening to this.